This is a video to discuss some of the prerequisites for the pre-calculus mathematics course. These are prerequisites in the sense that you should have seen them before, but if you need a little bit of a review before you use them in our course, then that's fine. That's what we're taking the first week to do. So this is supposed to help you with that review. The first of the skills that we need to be able to succeed in pre-calculus is the ability to solve linear equations. This particular linear equation I've made sort of complicated so we can see what the general strategy is and review some other things as well. The general strategy for solving linear equations is that we would like to put our x terms on one side of the equation and then have on the other side of the equation our constant terms. In other words, the terms that do not have x's in them. And the only thing we have to remember is that when we do things to the equation, we have to make sure we balance. We do the same thing to both sides. Other than that, it's just a matter of using basic algebra rules, being careful, and in arithmetic. So, for example, the first thing we need to do is get rid of these parentheses. So we do that by using the distributive property. We multiply out the 3 times 7 is 21, and the 3 times minus x is minus 3x. Then we can do arithmetic to simplify the left-hand side and have 21 minus x equal 1 plus x. Now our goal is to have the x's on one side and the constants on the other. If I have a choice between adding to both sides and subtracting to both sides, I find that adding to both sides is easier. So for example here, I can add x to both sides. And then on the left-hand side, I have 21. On the right-hand side, I have 1 plus 2x. So once I've done that, I've committed myself to trying to get my x's on the right, which means I would like to get my constant terms on the left. I can get rid of this constant term by subtracting 1 from both sides. So with the step of subtracting 1 from both sides, on the left I have 20, and on the right I have 2x. Now I've accomplished my goal. I've separated my x terms on one side and my constant terms on the other, and now you can see why I do that, because all I need to do is multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 2, in other words, multiply by a half on both sides, or you could think of it as dividing by 2. And on the right-hand side I have x, and on the left-hand side I have 10. So that's my solution, and some books would like you to write that as a solution set, so we would write the set with 10 in it would be the solution set for this equation.